Well,
they've looked bad, and they were not predicted to do very well from pretty much anyone, and yet they just put a former Pro League champion firmly on their backside.
Yeah, and this will be interesting too because this is a map that Liquid have not played this season in Pro League, so there's less footage for MockIt to use, whereas MockIt have played it, and they have lost and won it. So it's been a bit of a mixed bag for them. Well, no, I'm sorry, they have just won it once, if I'm looking at that correctly. It was against Ents, so they are feeling confident, I imagine. But there goes the Thatcher and then the Maverick. So definitely, again, these targeted bans going up for Cash Room, as we've seen quite a bit today for Clubhouse.
Yeah, that's the third Mav on a Clubhouse that we've seen banned, and the second identical attacking bans on a Clubhouse today. Thatcher Mav earlier on today on a Clubhouse matchup.
Yeah, not a huge surprise there. No, I mean, when it was played by MockIt, they banned Ying and Mira. So, the Ying not coming out this time, so they're just a bit more focused on the Maverick because of the Thatcher ban. They want that Maverick gone. But Maestro, of course, going to be in play now that Echo is the one to take the ban, which surprises me because Maestro tending to be a bit more banned on this map a lot of the time. We'll see. They're going to start down in Church. That was not a huge surprise. So now that Liquid are starting on the defense here, we'll see if they can get a chance to kind of be a little bit more in that initial sense of control because they have some more time to collect themselves. But I don't know, MockIt could continue to exploit their momentum. Sexy Cake, though, 6 picking to the Clash, something that has had kind of mixed results for him in the past. It'll be interesting to see how this works on Church especially.
Well, Clash, obviously, with the newest update, her machine pistol has now gone from a 2-round burst to fully automatic. And let me tell you, that recoil is quite manageable, to say the least.
Yeah, it's definitely been interesting to see.
Bit of a game changer.
Yeah, it really can be, and we haven't seen Clash actually play today because it keeps getting 6 picked off of.
Yeah.
We'll finally see whether or not it actually has an impact, whether or not they're even going to run the shields in front of them. I was joking, I think it was with Fox earlier, about how now at this point you pretty much should run with it on your back, and you're just this running around with an F2 and a turtle shell essentially at this point. You know, just putting your back against the wall and spraying and holding angles. So I'm curious to see how Sexy Cake will play this.
5 seconds to insertion.
I imagine it'll be difficult, especially if he has any intention of playing over towards Armory, where he's headed, or was headed anyway, before he's dropping some barbed wire down the main hall. Considering Corey playing the Buck, will be able to completely eviscerate all floorboards inside of kitchens. So the depths of Armory, deep Armory, won't be all that accessible to Sexy Cake, considering that vertical lockdown, the shield won't reach all the way to the top, and his head will be exposed from multiple angles on the verticality. Nesk playing directly with him right now. Looks like they just want to use him as a mobile mirror and have Nesk peek out of it. I mean, there are good ideas, and then there's this one.
Well, I mean, it does allow you to roam a little more safely, but it's not like you're going to, you know, like a Vigil play or something where you're going to hide from drones. They're just going to see you, and, well, now that they know what the plan is. They see the Clash, they see the Legion. The nice thing for them is the goo mines can be placed ahead of the Clash. So anyone trying to kind of push the Clash is going to be hit by goo mines that's going to distract them and give an opportunity then for Nesk to make that peek out. See, there comes one of the goo mines right there. But they've got to watch out for above them, and you see that's what's happening there. The destruction above forces that you were talking about, you know, the inability to cover your head. You do get a little bit of head coverage.
A little bit, but not
a lot. Yeah, it's not Monty style.
No. So now just ducking into the corner over by Kegs will be Sexy Cake as he tries to back off a little bit further. And the tiny little portion of the church wall will be opened up, and Corey staring through. No one playing directly on the church wall. There's no bandit. No one trying to bandit trick the church wall. We've just got mute jammers down from Zig, and I'm sure they'll be taken care of either with a frag grenade or Rips' Twitch drone waltzing its way in eventually.
I feel like they gave up the stairs way too fast. Like, what was the point of doing that? And you just give it up as soon as you're droned? Like, were you hoping they wouldn't drone? I don't know what the plan was there.
Well, looks like it's going to be a lot of people dropping into Moto here for a second. The diffuser gets dropped right off the Moto hatch. It'll be Vale jumping in first, taking down some barbed wire and slowing down now thanks to the Clash of Flashbang. Comes raining in. It'll completely blind Sexy Cake, and I imagine Gohan as well, who was trying to take that peak in tandem with Sexy Cake, slowing down Vale. But it's another one to come in. It's Rips this time as the Twitch. Nesk will shut down Corey, coming down the main stairs, all the way on top of the boxes on the B-bomb.
Yeah, you don't expect a position like that, and the combination with Gohan there, but Vale and Rips taking down 2. This is not looking great. In fact, almost a team shot there in the back of the head. This is starting to fall apart for both teams, really. A 3v3 now with 30 seconds left.
An overextension for Liquid might be their downfall here on round number 1, as that's your Clash and your Smoke, 2 your biggest time delay operators. Smoke coming in from Crid now as he darts them across, but he's not aware of Zig playing close with the shotgun and blasts away 1, going for 2, but whiffing on the shot. Nesk and Paula, though, will be able to save the day as firing across the way is Neskin behind the bomb, and Paula had gone for a long flank upstairs above the Moto hatch to secure things. Liquid. Whew. That was almost another one that got away from them.
Yeah, that was definitely a close one there. The shotgun play, I mean, you got to expect that. That is weird to not be well prepared for that. You need to be pre-firing as you come around that corner, realistically, because who isn't going to take advantage of that shotgun angle that's kind of been the meta since, you know, forever, because shotguns have always existed in this game. Paula, though, actually going to bring something to try and roam a little bit more now that they're going to play Gym Bedroom with the Vigil, assuming he doesn't 6th pick away from it. Now it's going to be Gohan to use that to the Mute, and that is going to help the Vigil potentially dodge drones a little bit longer. But, I mean, it's hard to say, because you're still going to give away your position a little bit with the strength of your signal jamming, similar to the way the Mute jammers are going to be doing also. This is it's always interesting to see, like, how people play this, because a lot of Vigil players will actually just kind of stick near sight, but just make it so you can't be easily droned out, so they can't just put pressure on you because they don't know how you're playing the site. I'm curious how Paul's going to play. And he is actually surprisingly bringing the bulletproof camera rather than the impact nades, and already has set up that bulletproof camera. So they are going to have a little bit extra smoke coverage along with those Evil Eyes. So definitely looking to protect against that. But the only smoke coming out is going to be from the Capitao, as they're not bringing the Dokkaebi. There we go. A little bit of, as Parker would say, a log jam there. I feel like that's a Canadian thing. Is that a Canadian thing?
I don't know. It's familiar to me, but I'm also Canadian, so I...
That's why I'm asking you.
But it's familiar to me, so I don't know if it's...
Then it must be.
It's only a Canadian thing? Okay, cool.
There's no logs in America.
None?
No.
It's not a good thing. Same identical operator lineup coming out from MockIt as they drop round number 1, and interesting pattern for the day. We saw it in our first game with Fnatic against Reciprocity. We saw it in the Empire against Immortals game, where the site rotation doesn't lead to CCTV being the secondary bomb site. It's Gym Bedroom for the 3rd straight game.
And Bandit isn't banned. Like, Bandit was banned before, so it was a lot more understandable. But it seems like teams are expecting to have to play Gym secondary, so they're just preparing for that and playing that rather than just being like, well, I guess Bandit's available, so we can still play him. They are still playing him, but for Gym Bedroom, they are, of course, losing control of the cache side fairly quickly here, as a lot of utilities being expended to make sure that happens. And I don't think that was quite the arc he was going for. He's going to go ahead and try and set that up a little bit better as the Kairos open up some of the floor. Just so much utility going in here, and all it's done is kind of push him out of the room. I don't think they're going to get this kill onto that Vigil anytime soon.
You can see 4 of the Hibana pellets were jammed, so only 2 were able to detonate. Unfortunate there, but an evacuation of cache. Gohan will rip off and won't try and hold out any longer, as MockIt will have a free entry in as soon as they can establish and communicate to each other. They do have that free entry, considering they can't get a drone in. But finally, the Mute Jammers will be picked apart one by one. More peeking coming from construction now from Liquid as well, as they try to provide a little more resistance of the entry, but now falling all the way back. Liquid going to play 5 on site as they back off into the depths. No one even playing in an objective right now. Closest man is Zig inside the bathroom. Other than that, not a lot of direct site control for Liquid.
Yeah, this is an interesting attack, because usually there's a lot more time focused on this outside area where it's headed down, and they're actually kind of approaching this late. They didn't spend a lot of time focused on either the hot tub wall or the window, but Corey getting an initial kill on Paula means that Vigil is going to be out of play. Now they're droning a lot more effective in establishing the positions of the players, and Rips does see, can't really attack that gym side too well because of that deployable shield.
The deployable shield for Sexy Cake being the saving grace there, as he's able to hold his position firm. And oh no, it looks like Zig might be the first one to overextend here. 30 seconds left, and he needs to put it on KS to be the man to push. Free fires abound and not really connecting, but Rips will find another victim, and there goes Ness. The Jaeger gone. Corey wide swings all the way over, but Sexy Cake with an M870, and Zig with all the levels things. KS is now down, pulling out the bailiff to finish it off. Sexy Cake with another one with the M870. It's all on to Rips suddenly. A 5v3 turned into a victorious round round for Liquid. A beautiful comeback of a round right there, and the M870 on Bandit. Not the most fashionable choice these days, but it works out in spades for Sexy K.
That's got to be the most M870 kills we've seen since, I believe it was Millennium playing Jaeger with M870 in Border on the bathroom tellers defense in the Castle Market. That's like the only time we ever really saw that ran very effectively. So already setting the record for 2019 in terms of M870 kills with 2. Sexy Cake playing it interesting. And we even saw, like you said, the bailiff. So that was very much a shotgun-heavy round for Liquid. And what looked like, actually, they were going to get torn up there from Rips. It just somehow that turned around very quickly. It's like they brought them into them, and the shotguns just did the rest.
I mean, a complete shotgun wipe of a round there for Liquid. And after a map like Border, I mean, how could you not love this start for Liquid now? And it seems like it's resiliency more than anything for Liquid. They've been down on man count on both rounds, I believe.
But let's be clear, this is defense on Clubhouse.
True.
And we have seen that consistently be a very effective thing today.
True.
So
Can't get too far ahead of ourselves, however, I really want to highlight that, though, because Liquid have been down on man count back-to-back rounds. I think it's been 3v5s both times.
But also shotguns have been somewhat the game changer both those times.
True, the close quarters combat engagements.
Yeah, it seems to be the weakness at the moment of MockIt, despite sometimes playing that Ying. Maybe they just need to do a bit better job of, they've got the Zofia, for example, get some stuns going around there, some pre-fires come around the corners. They just maybe need to do a little bit better job of clearing those corners and making sure when they enter a room, it's with a bang, rather than just getting stomped by the shotgun pellets.
Well, it just feels like right now Liquid are playing a little bit smarter and honestly a little more urgency and a little more creativity. Throughout the entire lineup, it just seems like they're much more on point right now on Clubhouse, which is interesting because that's a map, like you said, they don't have any footage on so far this season in Pro League.
Well, that absolutely does not mean that they're bad at it.
Doesn't mean they're bad at it.
We saw it with Fnatic earlier and Villa, so.
Yep. And like you said, the defensive side obviously going to be favorable on Clubhouse, as that's been a common theme for a while now, actually, since the update to Club.
Well, this is a case where they are playing cash now, finally, and the wall just gets opened very quickly within the first minute, probably within the first 45 seconds. And this is where they start to put pressure on the top of Rafters now. Pala going to be playing up there with his Evil Eyes, but they can start to put pressure from the angles now through the window, through the wall, just try and hold him down and suppress him. But this is always difficult to deal with. They do have the ability to burn him out from below potentially with the capped out firebolts, which is something they can use against him, as you are allowed to use that through surfaces. They could potentially catch him that way, but it is most likely going to be down to utility plays. Sometimes the capped out firebolt just shot across. There it is right there. That is going to burn Paula down to very low health. He takes a few bullets as well. Vale finishes him off.
Good coordination there from MockIt. Dispatch of Paula up on the rafters. One asphyxiating bolt and one crossfire is all it takes. I saw earlier on Rips just giving Ziggle love tap in the knee. Grin will shut down Nesk, and another one for MockIt as they all come piling in. Sexy K trying to hold as he's getting pinched from the upper side from Master by Gohan, so they'll have to retake in towards CCTV, but no ground gained there from MockIt. They didn't take their advantage on a vacant site to try and press through and press their advantage, but they still have that Rafters control. It's still a 4v2 once again. We've seen a lot of man disadvantage round wins for Liquid so far in this match, both of them being so. And you got a 3-stack right now for MockIt out on the CCTV wall balcony. Here comes Kryn dropping in all of his utility. The smokes displaying anyone being able to see from that stairwell, hitting the first Legion mine, and there goes Gohan lighting up KS, and a Nitro cell from Sexy Cake will connect on a Veil. That's the plant disrupted momentarily. Again, looking through the rafters, it's down to a 2v2. They're rushing the plant. If the cover isn't sufficient, it finally will be. 1v1 now, close range, but Rips on the turn. Oh my, the last second victorious bullet to put an end to the comeback from Liquid. Again, a 2v4, almost successful for Liquid.
Yeah.
MockIt, draw one back.
Rips just finishing checking his email just in time to get that kill. That was very close, though. It was definitely a case where they gave up way too many free kills to the Legion through the wall. It was, I mean, it was unfortunate for them, but the fact that they were able to pull it off, it was just down to timing. The fact that he was able to get off that time.
Did you like the voice crack?
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I was doing my best impression of you, I'm sorry.
No, it was spot on, absolutely. I just don't, I mean, I don't scream as much, but otherwise.
Attack timeout, MockIt.
Yeah.
It's a little early, don't you think?
You know what? It is the case of, like, this is their map. They're honestly looking at KS. It doesn't look like it's a timeout of, like, we're desperate. It's a timeout of, like, all right,
refocus.
What can we do? Yeah, refocus. What can we do here to close this out? We won map 1. Let's just knock this out of the park. Yeah. Attacks are going to be hard because this is Clubhouse. Let's get as many rounds as we can and then just destroy them on defense so we can just be done for the day. I mean, I got to imagine that's the way they're thinking right now, but they are going to go back down to church, which is something surprisingly they lost.
Well, I mean, the winner of this game will have a date with G2 tomorrow, and that's, I don't know, depending on how you look at it, that might be a fun time or it might be a terrible time.
Yeah.
Because you really got to question, I mean, it was Mantis really bringing the fragging power in that game.
Yeah.
A lot of structure was thrown by the wayside in that game against G2. So it's hard to gauge where G2's at. You know, we keep saying, you know, G2's been saving strats, G2's been saving strats, or they haven't been saving strats, they just suck right now. Who knows?
Absolutely could be a mixture of those.
It could be a mixture of both. Like, it really could be both.
So Sexy Cake trying to pull off that same 6 pick to Clash again. Will he be staying up on the stairs with Nesker? Now, he was one of the first to get killed once the actual fight started coming downstairs, so I wouldn't say he was terribly effective, but looking at the kills there, so far he has the most on the board. A lot of 3s and 2s, but KS actually slacking off a bit here. He's going to have to kind of step it up a bit.
How dare he?
Yeah.
Through 3 rounds, not have a kill.
Embarrassing, really. I mean, how can he be the captain?
How are you going to get a chair at a McDonald's with results like that?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to go to Burger King if you want a crown at that point.
10 seconds.
Are we being too mean?
No.
Or are we not being mean enough?
I think we can ratchet it up a few more notches.
All right.
We'll see though. It looks like it looks like he could be going for similar stairs play. That didn't really do anything last time. It's because they backed off way too soon for it to be effective. And I mean, I guess like, they were spotted, but again, do you expect not to be? I got to question what's the purpose if you back off that early.
Well, you can see Corey looking to take that engagement as fast as humanly possible. Rips straight into the strip hallway and wants to engage with Nesk and Sexy Cake. Seemingly having a death wish, I guess.
I mean, maybe that's what they were hoping for last round, is someone would just run in without a drone. But there is the drone right there.
There's 2 drones looking straight at the top of the main stairs.
They know they're there. Corey's he's brave, you know. He's just a brave soul.
I mean, if you can crouch spam like that, how would you not be brave?
It's true, yeah. He's got his crouch on hold, so he knows what he's doing.
Thermite charge used to open up Moto Hatch. That's a little peculiar.
Well, it's not like they have a hub on. Oh, wait.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, usually you'd open up church wall and dirt with the thermite charges, but I mean, maybe they got a different idea of where they wanted to place the utility.
I mean, what do we know? They did win church last time. Oh, wait. So.
They did have a 5v3 advantage and then lose it.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Some impact tricking coming out. I like that little crack there. You don't usually see that being used for the impact tricking. So, interesting. Veil trying to take advantage of as well and use it because they do holes, I believe, work both ways. So,
is that what that is?
I don't know. I mean,
man, I thought they were one ways.
Yeah. Well, Sexy Cake doing what he did last time, which is trying to hold off Moto. Last time it was not effective, but it just came down to ineffective teamwork. In terms of him not doing a good job. He did get flashed last time, and again, putting the flash in Clash. Zig, though, with a nice C4 kill, is going to take down their only chance at smoking for a plant.
Does he go on an extremely low HP, and now, ooh, good timing with the concussion nade, but Sexy Cake is able to dive back and return to safety behind the indestructible walls of Church, and again, just going to be trying to piss off Veil, to be honest. A Nitro Cell comes flying in. That's not going to come anywhere close to being lethal. Gohan still on low HP, still has a Nitro Cell in hand, could be used later, and MockIt at a man deficit, but they are collapsing it towards blue this time, as opposed to all just storming the Gulag into the church door, and this is going to initiate a crossfire onto Sexy Cake, who's going to have to worry as to where he's turning his attention the most, as his backside will be exposed if they both peek at the same time. Rip's pushing in through new blue stairs, he's got 2 waiting for him. Oh, he just misses the head of Nesk as he backs off, and Corey will finally clean up Gohan. Sprays come through, and it's a double kill on the side of Liquid, a triple kill now for Liquid, but Rips was able to trade 1 back. He's left alone now inside of blue, no diffuser control, and no rotate in. He's got a shield looking straight at him, and Nesk will wrap things up nice and easy, and that'll be extending the lead for Liquid now up 3-1 on Clubhouse. Again, on the defensive side. but they bring it back in their favor.
It's got to be unfortunate to be at that low health because at that point, Sexy Kid could have just finished them off with the Clash Tase. So, either way, though, a great attempt and a great play by Rips trying to do as much damage as he did, but just they're continuing to be stalled out in Moto. They need to go for a different push. Maybe they need to be going dirt combined with blue. Maybe they need to be preparing to drop kitchen hatch. They did try and open it at least and got impact tricked off that, but still.
Yeah, I think they had the right idea when it came to trying to establish a crossfire onto Sexy Cake, that shield. As long as you can keep him twisting and turning and not solely focused on one permanent spot without any worry about his backside being exposed, then you're in a good spot and you're happy. But I think you're right. I think they do need to at least send a little bit of pressure down dirt, maybe utilize the utility a little bit smarter. Don't use the thermite charge on the Moto hatch. Don't go straight to kitchen hatch when you know it's going to get impact tricked. Try and apply a little bit of pressure on the kitchen floor and flush out whoever's going to be throwing those impacts, you know. Take things a little more methodically, maybe.
Well, either way, it is not like they're at 0 points, but they're definitely at a deficit on their own map. But again, defense is very strong on this map. At this point, I imagine they're just trying to get as many points as they can on attack so that when they go to that switch, it's not such a huge problem. But I mean, it is kind of weird to say they're trying to get as many points as they can, because I think that's kind of always the goal. But I think the mentality-wise, it's like we're not going to win every single attack round.
No.
You know, we just need to win as many as possible so that we can, once we have that advantage, turn it into something serious. And it will be interesting to see if, once the side switch happens, if Liquid can be as strong on attack as they have it on defense.
That'll be tough, and that's usually the story on Clubhouse, is if a team can start going on a little bit of a run on attack, then holy crap, they probably got the map in the bag.
Yeah.
Again, it's MockIt right now with 2 remaining rounds on the attack. You don't want to go down 5-1, because that's still usually a death sentence on Clubhouse, even with it being defender-sided. Eventually, they'll be able to pick up 2 when you have to go to your offsites.
Certainly.
So, you want to keep this within a 4-2 or a 3-3 range. A 3-3 would be monumental, honestly. 4-2 is the average, and then anything outside of that is an abnormality and sways one way or the other.
I'm curious if we will see Liquid try and go for bar, something we did see once earlier ineffectively from Reciprocity, but I don't know. I don't see that happening. I think Liquid are just going to continue to play their rotation, get as many points as they can, and hope they can close it out on attack. Zig definitely wary of being pushed from multiple angles here, though.
Well, you see the stacking right now from MockIt. They're all lined up, for the most part anyway, over by construction side, master side, looking to push their way over from the far side of the building in towards a construction take. And I mean, you've got both hard breachers, and you had wonderful coordination and execution to be able to dispatch as the man playing inside of rafters last time. So I don't see why you wouldn't go for another attempt at that. Bringing that Capitao and having it at your disposal seems like a pretty safe bet, but they're gonna get rid of the mute jammers, and there goes Zig taking down the drone, and I don't know if he's gonna swing for a peek as well into construction. There's no one watching for that right now, but it sounds like the wall has also been opened up into cash now, and it has. The thermite charge is able to get off safely, and Zig down to about 10 HP now at the hands of KS. After he breached the wall, he stuck around for a second to see if he can pick up any victims.
I like how they switched out like that. He ran out, jumped out the window, Rips took over, but then Corey getting felled by Gohan here, definitely going to be problematic. He's still got a C4. Oh, no, he doesn't. He's got barbed wire.
No, not again.
What is with that play? I mean, it's one thing for Valkyrie to go without C4, but a Pulse downstairs on heartbeat sensor.
This is too many times today. Like, it can't be a coincidence that it's Pulse is taking barbed wire and Valkyrie's taking deployable shield.
But it's not that he took barbed wire. He took barbed wire, didn't even deploy it.
Yeah, really. Didn't even put it down. Didn't even check, because it's in his mind that he had a nitro cell.
Yeah. He's just using it as a belt.
Oh, that was just the most ill-advised peak of all time, but they'll only lose 1 for it, and it's basically a trade-out. But with 20 seconds left, that's going to waste a lot of time. It looks like KS is just going to abandon Rips, let him beat out and take the 2v4. You've got 2 down below right now. It's Gohan. I think he's with Zig right now to try and tandem this cardiac sensor into a nitro cell kill, pushing directly on the hallway. Sexy Cake will mag dump and hit everything, including air. Now Rips will take down 1, but 2 straight for Liquid, and it's all up to KS now. Just ring around the rosy in the objective with no diffuser, no time, and Liquid will walk away with ease as it's another sweep on the round there. The defense is going quite well here for Team Liquid, as they're performing much better here, at least on the defensive side, than they were on border.
Well, again, this is something that should be at an advantage. It's not a huge surprise, but it is impressive to see them taking it as well as they are in terms of getting 4 points already, potentially now a 5th. this is where MockIt might start losing some of that confidence and momentum they had coming off of Border, taking the map away from Liquid. Looks like we could see the map from MockIt being taken away by Liquid as well. So we could see that kind of back and forth, and then it's down to who can play Oregon the most effective. And Oregon is a good map for both these teams, so that should be interesting. Should it get to that point, which is definitely looking possible. Jim has been one. So far, the only site that they've been able to take on attack is Cache, which they just failed that last time. So if history repeats itself here on Jim, then we will be going to the sites, which with 5-1, which is a pretty huge advantage. But if we look back at the Reciprocity and Fnatic matches, it's no surprise to see the sites, which lead to a huge comeback as well from teams.
Yeah, I wouldn't be at all surprised if this goes to a 4-2 at the half that we see overtime, just based on how the map's been playing out so far today. Through all 3 games now, at least on this channel, we've had a Clubhouse. Identical operator lineup still for MockIt. They seem rather static in their choices as far as operators are concerned.
Yeah. I mean, they're not bad choices. They're bringing plenty of utility and double hard breachers. They have a soft breacher. They have some good gunpowder and some ability to clear some utility with the shock drones. They have the smoke and the fire coming out of Capito. It's not a bad lineup at all.
Good universal lineup.
I would say the only thing maybe they could be taking if they wanted to is the Thatcher, but guess what? That's banned. So this is, I mean, this is about as utilitarian as you're going to need most of the time.
They seem to have a pretty clinical approach to Clubhouse. They're not trying to get too fancy with it, and almost how they were playing Border as well. They were staying very site-centric on their attacks on Border. Same thing here with MockIt on Clubhouse. They're not getting wrapped up in clearing down below, and sometimes that's been at their detriment, and sometimes it's been helpful in their efficiency as to getting to the objective. But yeah, they do remain very site-centric on all of their pushes so far. MockIt, a gym bedroom take when you focus solely on that jacuzzi window and the master balcony windows, then you should be pretty good to go. I don't know why Paul is downstairs in the electrical
I think that's really going to be the problem for them. I don't think they're going to expect Paula down there, and he can find some long angles so he doesn't have to get up close.
I mean, he's chilling, and MockIt have zero intention of clearing out CCTV right now. As I said, they're, again, remaining site-centric.
At least in MockIt's favor, that it's not like Paul's going to have a C4 or something to hit them from below. He doesn't have anything to really do much with that. I mean, what is he going to do, like hit the floor with his Magnum?
Takes a little bit of damage as his deployable shield is gone, and he's going to put down some barbed wire. And for the 3rd time this game, I feel like that was intended to be a C4 launched out the explosion as well, but you never know. Yeah,
unfortunately, you can't throw barbed wire.
Seems like a lot of people today are forgetting that, but the wall gets opened up. Zig, though, will find his first victim in this round onto Rips. Sexy Cake still lower on damage. He's had to back off into the bathroom now as his safe haven, and Zig still playing inside of the logistics office closet, waiting for anyone to push through it. Again, it's MockIt playing, you know, they're not going for a roam clear all that well, but wow, the Skyro's detonating will put him on the ground now as he hits the deck trying to evade the visibility from the bathroom.
Just seemed like bad timing. He wasn't prepared to have those opened on him. It's like when someone just opens a wall and you were just not prepared for it. Oddly enough, that is the other hard breacher. So they're setting up for a plant, actually. They're getting set to go down here. Firebolts coming out, smoke coming out, plant going down from KS. No one really doing much to stop it, but there we go. Shots coming down as KS finally does get taken down by Sexy Cake, but quickly traded back by Cryin, who's now going for the plant.
Trying to get the plant down inside of Jim, and oh, he almost got it, but Nets will stop it dead in its tracks. A trade out by Corey on 5 HP, as I believe he withstood. Vale rushing through, trying to reacquire the diffuser. Holding the angle, though, is Ness just in the middle of a hole in the wall, and Corey on 5 HP, 20 seconds. This is going 5-1 in the favor of Liquid into the second half. Yeah, turning the corner with the pistol. All it takes is one, and it'll be Gohan, who actually turns the corner at the top of the stairs on his left-hand side, coming out of Master with the shotgun. Point-blank range, blows him away. Probably would have murdered him mercilessly even if he was at 100 HP.
I think turning a corner describes Liquid at the moment after Border for sure. They have definitely turned a corner in terms of their scoring, but side switch coming out now, the tables could be turning themselves, as MockIt will have a good opportunity to bring things back, but is it too little too late? As they were only able to get one single attack, that is definitely going to be problematic going into this, because, of course, if Liquid are managed to get 2 attacks, well, that puts them in the driver's seat in taking it to the next map.
That would send us to Oregon.
It sure would.
And that would also be an interesting scenario in which both teams lose their map in this newer ban, pick, ban, decider format. Yeah. We were talking about that kind of format during the Rec Fnatic game, about how that allows, that really just, it brings to the forefront which map is which team's. Because you get to pick it after only 2 maps are removed. Well,
I think in general, normally, if you wanted to get your maps, you had to be very predictive and strategic in what the other team was going to do.
Yeah.
In this format, it's definitely the case of, like, the decider is the one you have to be more strategic about. Because unless they know exactly which map you want, they're not going to ban it first, and you're likely to get the map you want. At least a 50-50 shot, right? Because they can only ban 1 map first. So if you have 2 maps you want, you're guaranteed to get 1 of them. And that's the nice thing about this format, is it does bring a bit more strength, I think, from the teams because they're getting maps they want. It offers an opportunity to really play to your strengths and offer that fair shot, and it really comes down to who does the best strategic banning for that decider to make sure if both teams win their maps that they get the more favorable decider, although it looks like we may be getting the reverse of that at the moment.
I can't tell. There was at least 2, but there could have been 3 ADSs placed inside of blue on the generator to try and protect Rips as he was holding down that location. So it's a lot of investment of utility, and I guess they're expecting a heavy push from Liquid down blue. And like we talked about, there are no current VODs, at least from this season, of Liquid on Clubhouse. There could have been previous VODs of maybe even an older roster at which they were blue-centric, but yeah, that's a lot of investment into one specific location of the map, and honestly, that was it was a little surprising to see in the setup.
Yeah. Well, we'll see though. Again, this is down to how they play it here. Actually, Jackal tracking already coming out from Pala. All it's going to do is confirm that they're already downstairs, which I mean they're going to expect at this point. And they've spent a minute just to get this top floor control. That seems a bit problematic given how much utility they've used just to get down here.
Nesk running out the bottom of the main stairs, and he's going to spot out Vale inside of Moto. And he's going to fall back immediately, knowing that he's been spotted by the drone. So, encroaching the midway point on the round. And you still have Paula as the Jackal yet to really scan anyone and detect where any of these defenders are currently stationed for MockIt. And it doesn't seem like anyone's really gone out on a massive mission to be a roaming presence. Everyone playing on site for MockIt currently. You also had an impact in the back pocket of Rips to open up a rotation hole. It sounds like some X-Kairos were being detonated by Sexy Cake, and an Ash Charge goes the distance all the way towards K9 and will detonate, I imagine, to take down the Evil Eye. And now the close wall on Armory to get into deep is now opened up as it was left soft. KS, the lone man inside of Arsenal, attempting to hold this out. Ness just missing his quick rotation underneath the hatch into the darker corner. Now here comes Gohan to try and push him out of his favorable position. Ness still holding, coming within inches of crossing in front of his purview. No connection as of yet. And finally, Nesk will take down KS. That is Armory evacuated against their will for MockIt. You still have a man inside of Dirt. Is Kryn is the Maestro holding down, but you have pressure on the outside of Dirt right now with the breach coming through, and he'll have to retreat all the way back now, and most likely station himself at K9. 26 seconds left for Liquid to try and complete this site execute. A 5v4, plenty of smoke, plenty of utility. They just need the urgency to push through and win their gunfights. And the isolation should be on Armory, but Corey will rip down one of Paula. A great shot in towards K9, but Kryn will shut down Gohan. Zig will trade one back, and we're level at a 3v3. Rushing straight into Moto. Nesk will shut down Corey, and all of a sudden it's just Nesk alone in a 1v1 now. 3 seconds remaining, ripping into blue box right on the other side of the corner. Turns it, but no! Rips! Barely wins it out. It came down to the absolute wire. And a murder fest inside of Church. But MockIt will win it out at the very last second. Nesk almost the saving grace for Liquid and nearly putting his team on match point. But for the moment, MockIt will stop the bleeding and bring it back.
I mean, that's kind of what we expected with the side switch, but it definitely got close there in terms of them not being able to do that. Nesk trying to save the day. Unfortunately, could not pull it off, but that is Church. Church is a hard spot to attack. Cash on the other end, the current setup should be a little bit easier, depending on how they played. I'm curious, though, because we saw MockIt push the garage one of the times. Saw them push from construction the other time. Which way will Liquid come?
It'll be interesting to see what they elect to do. And the Rook coming out. Seen a lot of Doc lately. Rook not so much. Nesk right now 10-4, by the way, having some fun. We don't see a lot of Rook come out these days unless
no, just retro earlier, like once.
Yeah, and I think it was played once in the game between G2 and Mantis that we were relaxing during. Other than that, I haven't seen a lot of Rook today. Don't really expect to either. It's typically the Doc. You know, in Pro League, the headshot percentages are going to be a lot higher just in general, and I guess the guarantee of a down, if it's not a headshot, what's that really going to do for you? Or maybe you take an extra bullet here or there in certain engagements.
I believe statistically, Rook is actually a little bit better overall, but that might be due to lower sample rate because of, well, him not being played as often as Doc. But I don't know, we did see, I believe it was Paula playing Doc earlier, so we could still even see that come out from MockIt, but yeah, the choice of rips on Rook is interesting coming out from him because he's been somewhat of a frag-heavy player in this match, and that's not a super fragging operator.
No.
I would have expected more of a maybe 3-speed coming out of him, or at least a 2-speed with a good gun. It's surprised as well to not see a Legion in play.
They were playing one last round. It was Rips as the Legion inside of blue with the double to triple ADS stack inside of blue, but none such this time around as far as the Legion is concerned. And Paula with the PDW. Wow. That's also an interesting decision. Typically at ranges like that, you're taking the C7E, but hey, it works out. Corey's gone, no bandit trick left, and the wall will get opened up by Zig and Liquid, and they will begin their assault, most likely towards the garage rafters, now that they have this afforded to them.
Yeah, this is definitely a good start for this attack here. Again, the advantage should be on the defense. At a 5-2 situation, it's not map point yet, but that's dangerously close. And I gotta imagine if you're MockIt, you gotta feel pretty bad after all those lost rounds before, but winning the last round's gotta give them some confidence back. However, losing Corey that early, I mean, to be fair though, on the attacks before from MockIt's side, they were able to get this open fairly early as well. So this is not a huge change in that. It's definitely been the case where they're able to get it open fairly early despite Bandit not being banned this time, and despite Thatcher being banned, so it seems to be not a huge deal in itself, and especially with only a minute left and they have been able to progress much past this, they need to start getting those smokes out from Pal, potentially to set up for a plant, maybe just one to bait out the smokes from KS, or if they could just kill KS.
Well, it really feels like it's going to be Paula is going to be the difference maker on this round. He's on a solo flank, and there he goes, ripping down Veil as KS will immediately trade out Gohan. So they have the Rafters control, and it's just a flurry of kills, leaving KS alone in a 1v2 now as he cuts down Sexy Cake from a 1v3. Zig on low HP, the man with the diffuser, and a Toxic Babe just misses him as he crosses it in. Zig putting down the diffuser in front of the server rack. You've got Ness directly on top of him. Oh, he shuts down the plant. KS shotgun point blank range. Ness slowly turning the corner, and KS, the 1v3, clutching, keeping MockIt alive off of match point. You can see the celebration from MockIt, a beautiful play from him, slowly creeping up that cash stairs hallway, and Ness unable to provide the cover.
What a great low health clutch as well. It is surprising me they decided to plant on that side when they could have planted on the other side, knowing that that's where he was playing from because of the smoke he just threw. They did not have to plant right there. They did not have to give him that free kill. That was purely a mistake on Liquid's part. That cost them the round, but also the coverage of that doorway. Were they just expecting him to somehow teleport upstairs and come from the other side? I don't know what that defense was in the case of, like, he's planting, just cover the doorway, or I don't know, plant on the other side and cover the doorway. Either way though, great play by KS, taking advantage of the mistake, capitalizing on it, and using both weapons. He got the one kill with the SMG-11, switched the shotgun, got the kill with the second, and that is why you see so much Mute play, because the ability to do the same thing now with Mute offers so much versatility, especially when you're playing both a Mute and a smoke.
Well, that thrown round will send Liquid to attack timeout. That will be wrapping up any second now. We'll get back underway. It is a 5-3 scoreline for Liquid still. However, they've surrendered the last 2 rounds consecutively. The timer will resume, and we'll get back underway. It'll be a gym bedroom defense now from MockIt as they've won their first 2 defenses downstairs and in CCTV and cash. They'll now head to the opposite side of the top floor. We've already seen a bar stock, I think, twice today. Either once or twice, can't remember.
I know it was at least once.
It was at least once in Rec Fanatic. I'm interested to see if another bar stock will come out, see if MockIt can run the gauntlet on all 4 defensive sites.
I feel like they have tried that before in Pro League. I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like that is, if they have not, that is something they would do, potentially, I think. And we were talking about on Border how they like to try and keep Liquid on their feet. That it would be definitely one way to do it, but so far it has not been a very successful bomb site. Despite, I know you have some inklings on how you think it could be pretty defendable. Doesn't seem like Pro League teams have been able to kind of lock that down so far. We'll see if we end up there, but either way, technically you can look at it, the MockIt has so far been flawless on their defenses. It's just, well, only been 2 rounds of them. But either way, that is a good start to coming back on this. They are not on map point yet, so they can potentially lose 1 round. But then if they do lose that 1 round, then they have to win it in overtime if they want to shut this out 2-0. So, of course, all the better for them if they can, you know, not drop a single round. Bring it first. Paula, though, getting a potential freebie, actually doesn't land any of the shots.
Another one.
Time. Well, this is got to be fun for him.
MockIt playing with fire, and yet they escape both times with their lives. They're going for 3.
Paula's, at this point, Paula's just gonna cry. I feel bad for him. Just maybe this is not the job for you, Paula. With that PDW, maybe you need something faster. I don't know.
Over and over and over.
Yeah.
No connections on the heads, and Liquid will stack themselves 3 strong outside of the jacuzzi wall. No one really contesting this. They got the mute jammers down to slow it out momentarily. Obviously, no Mav and no Thatcher means it'll be a little bit of a task and requiring a little bit of coordination and teamwork on the side of Liquid. KS taking a little bit of damage down to about 25. He's inside of the garage. Actually, that's Corey inside the garage. We dropped down to 50, so he's trying to punch hole peek the soft garage panels and look out towards the balcony. But well read by Liquid, and they'll repel that at face value.
Corey just wanted to park his car, but unfortunately, he's the one getting parked 6 feet under. Nice kill there by Sexy Cake. No damage, of course, done back to him in return. KS as well has taken a little bit of damage. This is not looking great for MockIt on their 3rd defense here. Because again, they can't afford to lose any defensive rounds without then being forced to do overtime at the very least just to win the map.
Yeah, Rip still holding pat inside of Cash, waiting for anyone to try and push through. And seems like Liquid are a little more interested, in contrast to MockIt, at least, in clearing out other portions of the map and controlling real estate as compared to MockIt's very site-centric pushes every round, and seemed to be the downfall for MockIt last time around, just allowing flanks and map control on opposite sides of the building. But this time around, it's Liquid with the focus. Ash will take down the castle barricades of Nesk, and they'll hold out on the balcony a little bit longer. Sexy Cake waiting for anyone to rotate, at least holding down and avoiding the peaks. Slow going here for Liquid as there's 40 seconds left, but now they have jacuzzi wall open. They'll be able to push in through the bathroom, and you've also got Gohan down below, causing a lot of havoc with the skeleton key.
They are spending so much time positioning and repositioning and open things up, but at least a kill there from below onto Vale. That's going to shake things up here, and now a 3v5. A little bit of damage done to Paula, and a smoke followed up is not going to be enough to stop the plant. Going into gym bedroom.
Oh!
Nice read by KS, though.
What a shot by KS, but Nesk will trade it out, and KS is on 1 HP, and he'll get found through the smoke. Liquid with an onslaught at the end, 3 straight frags, and they'll put themselves on match point to possibly send us to Oregon here, although that does open up another set of rotations here for MockIt, as they're allowed to go back downstairs, and the next round after that, they'll be allowed to go to CCTV and Cash. So it most likely will all come down to that 3rd round from now, as that'll be the round to send us to overtime. Or,
yeah. I mean, let's be honest.
3.
It's very likely we're going to Oregon just because MockIt haven't shown they can hold off against Liquid's attacks well enough to make it, you know, all those rounds in a row they need to be able to take it. And again, they have to take it in overtime. Now, the upside, of course, is the coin flip could go in their favor when it goes in overtime. If they're able to take 3 rounds in a row, coin flip goes into the favor of them being on defense again. Okay, maybe it's doable, but that's still a bit of a long shot. Now, instead of that rook being played, like we saw earlier, Kryan is going to be bringing that dock. Nesk going to 6-pick over to the Zofia this time. So, interesting change-up considering how successful he's been at the Ashe as well. KS going to continue on that smoke. Something I don't know. I don't know if he's been super successful at, but he has been putting up a bit of a fight. Nesk, the first one hit those double digits.
So, backs against the wall here from MockIt on Clubhouse. However, it's not the end of the world for them, considering they came away with a very strong performance on Border, walking away with a 7-2 victory. So, like you said, Oregon, the most likely outcome here. But if MockIt can go on a bit of a run and get hot on the defensive side on Clubhouse, match what Liquid did in terms of their 5-1 starting split, then we'll head to overtime, and most likely the coin flip will determine the outcome of the game.
I mean, you got to imagine, so yes, they lost their third bomb site, right? So that's not as big a deal. Problem is the way the rotations work. If they win their next two defenses, they again still have to go back to the third bomb site for their last defense, which could, if they lose it, then they go to Oregon. So this is already a bit of a long shot if that third defense is just not a good one for them.
Thermite charge from Zig will open up Dirt to start things off, and then it'll be Gohan and Paula stacking for a strip side clear, and no one roaming for MockIt. Not a big surprise. We have seen a few attempts, honestly, on this map already today of attempts at roaming on Church Arsenal on Clubhouse, and it worked out to some degree for Fnatic against Reciprocity, but no one since has really even attempted it.
I liked that idea there of stacking up with the shotgun and the smoke as usual, but then also bringing the dock for that long angle peek between the crack there. They do also have a bulletproof camera set up somewhere downstairs from the dock because they're not playing Maestro, which is an interesting choice despite the fact that he is not banned. In this case, it is Echo that got the ban instead, so they could be playing him to be able to see through that smoke as well, just get that super great gun, but choosing not to do so instead. They're going to bring a dock. I don't know, questionable choice. We'll see how Crying does on it. He is the top fragger for the team, so.
Flash is descending into blue, clearing out ADSs, and some even detonating. And they see a myriad of punch holes on the wall as it's just a confusion tactic. And you've still got Rips playing extremely close to the blue door, up against blue boxes. A frag grenade being primed and sent through, and it'll detonate just short of the intended target. It'll do a little bit of damage to Rips, but it won't be the end of the world as they still have Kryn on the dock to boost him back up to 100. And he's going to drop a Legion Mine as well on the backside just for good cover. And there goes Kryn taking down Nesk early on that ACOG, and he's going to challenge the kitchen hatch as it gets opened up now. Nesk will fall as the Zofia, so those impacts and the stun canisters will be gone, and now they're trying to line up for a stim pistol. Oh no.
Moved.
Well, Rips was getting shot by Gohan, it sounded
That's no
like.
excuse.
Just stand still, forehead.
Yeah. Well, he's going to get charged all the way back up, so Doc making the most of his medical abilities.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Double drop now into Moto, coming up from Paula and Zig, and Corey will shut down Paula as he tried to take a wider angle in towards Church. So it's down to a 5v2 now as Rips will shut down Gohan. Another one peeking through that Moto side. So it's the Breachers left alive. An aggressive peek from Kryn will win out onto Zig. So a 1v5 for Sexy Cake to win the match. And most likely we're going to another round here. Aggressive peek coming out of Church. It's a peek from multiple angles on either end, and Kryn will win it out with a 3K on the round. And MockIt, again, stave off elimination on this map. They've already won map number 1. They're not stressing too hard on the defensive side of Clubhouse. This is probably going the distance, and it'll all come down to that crucial either gym or bar stock defense.
Yeah, it's definitely the case where, I mean, they cannot afford to lose a single round until they get to overtime. So they've got to win cash, and they've got to win whatever they go to after that, which is likely going to be gym. If they make it that far, it's not a great place to be in. It's definitely an issue to deal with in terms of what's the optimal strategy at that point. Yes, you can push as hard as you can, but I don't know. I mean, it's a tough spot to be in because gym is not the easiest to defend. Although, to be fair, it was defended successfully both times by Liquid, so I guess if you use that as a basis, it's not a big deal. Gohan actually sneaking over to the Twitch. So Kryn again going to be on the dock. Should be interesting.
No Maestro this time. That's shocking, honestly, the amount of domination that Maestro has, at least as far as Intel is concerned, with the indestructible Evil Eyes. It's funny because Maestro is supposed to be positioned as like a plant delay operator, and yet the Evil Eyes never really seem to make it that long to be a plant denial.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that it should be like useful for that, but it's not necessarily that he directly is something going into deny plant. It's more just the ability to see through smokes as well. that's more factoring it because you can call out where they're planting, and someone can more directly deny the plant.
Locate a bomb and defuse it.
Well, nonetheless, no Maestro coming out this time around. Same attacking lineup for Liquid as they had the last time they attacked here, except I believe Gohan was on the Buck last time they attacked this site. I actually can't remember if he was on the Twitch of the Buck. He's been also on a little bit of a carousel of operators this game. Seems like Liquid are trying to throw everything at a wall and see what sticks. And on the attacking side, they've had a little bit of success, obviously attacking that gym bedroom once.
I mean,
the win.
To be fair, there was one attacking win on the other side as well, so it's both sides have only won one attack so far.
Not a bad spot to be in for either of these. And Rips, ooh,
yeah,
dangerous positioning there at the bottom of the new blue stairs. He was right underneath the railing, just outside of the purview of Nesk, who was watching the window and will now drone him out himself. Zig's drone will jump the windowsill and also fall in line and fall to its own grave. Flashbangs come out deeper, and Rips is going to escape all the way to the end of the new blue stairs tunnel and come right back as he evades the final flashbang. And a third drone will be felled at the hands of the T5 of Rips.
Well, let's see if they can manage to make more use of the drones in the future. Shots, though, that could have easily hit Nesk in the face. He's going to try and push this. This is a risky play, though, to continue to put pressure on that because Pre-Fire could get him, but there we go. Rips getting taken down by Gohan. Takes a lot of damage, but the F2 wins those fights.
Gohan taking the challenge as he goes all the way to the basement to cut off the flank, and it was KS that was peeking Nesk earlier. The Ash Charge will still come out below, even though there's no bandit trick happening currently from Corey. Still playing over the top of cash stairs, and he won't even make it in time. He darts over in an attempt in vain, but he won't even come close to us. The wall will get opened up, and it's a 5v4 advantage for Liquid, looking to close things out. You still have to worry about KS down below, who Nesk has not forgotten about. Just holding in position on a flank hold, and KS still has the opportunity to rotate up the rafters. No one from Liquid has tried to push into the garage yet. Ooh, they are holding the flank, though, again.
Yeah, that's a long angle. You definitely you see the ping coming out. Like, don't go near that door.
There goes another thermite charge onto the bottom reinforced walls of garage, directly underneath the rafters. So that's the first pressure being applied with 45 seconds left by Liquid onto the garage rafters. Nest still holding below for anyone to rotate, and they have the man advantage, so they can really sacrifice Nest's fragging ability to do this. And I'm sure at the end, when some Havoc starts coming through, he'll push up the stairs. Crin able to trade out KS as KS was felled on the rafters. Here comes Nest, just waiting for the perfect storm of chaos to push up those cash stairs. Paul will claim another victim into Veil, and suddenly it's just Crin alone in a 1v4, all descending upon him. He'll claim Gohan. The diffuser is still outside on square with 15 seconds left, but Sexy Cake will shut it down. Liquid will take map number 2, 7-4.
Well, all they had to do was win 2 of their attacks. They did so, and it's shut down there for the team that managed to take border in such force. I am curious where it will go for Oregon, as it's been